Daughter's message of preventing breast cancer today at a very special Christmas party.
Medical reporter Liz Bonus joins us now to tell us why this means so much to this mom. Hi, Liz.
Hey guys, good afternoon. This mom started the hashtag Smiling for Erica. If you look at these bras here, there are little ribbons on them that say hashtag Smiling for Erica. The bras in the program are designed to raise awareness of the kind of cancer that took Erica's life. It's called triple negative, and you can see
Never underestimate the valuable and important difference you make in every life you touch. For the impact you make today has a powerful rippling effect on every tomorrow.
Who was Erica? I try not to get emotional. She was just an amazing human being. Someone who I would say she was the go-to for many of our friends, for the students. She was so raw, so real, just a real individual.
Erica was very loyal. Okay, Erica was that friend that was like, if this person hurt you, then we don't like them anymore, right? So she was absolutely a loyal friend. She was very funny. She had a very dry, sarcastic sense of humor. Some of her comments could be a little biting, so I would often think like, I'm glad I'm not on the other end of that. But she was really, really funny, very loyal, a great friend.
How should I describe Erica? Erica was fun and serious at the same time. Kind of had this, she had a smart mouth. Yeah, she was, she knew how to get it in though. She knew how to get it in. She had a smart mouth. So she had wit is what I would call it. And she was and a hard worker. I mean, I know when I met Erica, she was in her master's program at the University of Cincinnati. And then I knew she was going to get her another master's as well. Or finishing up her second, and then she was going to get her doctorate. So I've known Erica since 2003 to 2007, where we worked together as hall coordinators at the University of Cincinnati.
Someone who was an excellent listener. So when people were going through things, Erica is the person you want to go to. She's going to listen, but not only is she going to listen, you got to be ready for her response, because she's going to tell you the truth. She was very honest, very forthcoming. She was very authentic. And, you know, as I've gotten older, what I have grown to understand and appreciate and why she was that for so many of us is that she had such a maturity that many of us wasn't there yet. And she knew herself. She was super authentic about who she was. At a younger age, you know, many of us don't get there till later on in our lives. At a very younger age, Erica knew who she was. She knew what she wanted to do. Her goal was to be the president of a college or university, and she was on that path. And so she knew who she was. She was very authentic and just a giver, just a great human being.
2004, 2005, when I met Erica, but just truly a wonderful human being, someone who was really just down to earth, someone who has a care and someone who had a care and a passion for people and always wanting to do what was right. And I like to emulate those qualities in the work that I do today. I'm originally from Columbus, Mississippi, so I'm a Southerner. And my parents taught us growing up that it's important to always tell the truth and to always do what's right. And my relationship and connection with, as a colleague with Erica, I truly believe that she emulated a lot of those qualities.
She was someone who was, she was the spirit of Pan, you know. a champion for students, always wanted to make sure that we had students, or students at the table and understood that what we were doing needs to go back, and how do we translate from ACPA to our campuses, and how do we make sure that this knowledge that we get didn't just stop, once convention was over. How do we apply this back to our campuses? How do we make this work where we are? That was, one thing that was also important. It was also important for folks, for her, to get folks in community. So ACPA and building that, but also changing with the times, in terms of wanting to be very connected to what's going on, in society, what's happening with us. Where do we need to make sure that we are stepping up our game, for PAN, for our constituents and our members, based on the changing time that's happening within higher education, within our society.
When I was working at the University of Cincinnati, I don't think my colleagues there really, especially the hall coordinators and Ebony and Erica specifically, didn't really know anything about ACPA. And I had gone to Philadelphia that year. Again, that's when myself and Aja got together. But then that following year, I was like, you all need to come, you all need to come to ACPA. I think Philadelphia is where they came. So I was the one that really kind of gave the push for Erica and Ebony to come to ACPA. And so that was their start and their journey for like, let's get involved. I really like it. I really enjoy PAN. I really enjoy. So it was that push that I, to get them involved. And from there, no holds bar. I mean, they did presentations together, and they were always together, and it was that wonderful click.
I spent many years in the field of higher education, many years as a member of ACPA, and the work and how PAN, we even got involved, all surrounds Erica and I. I met Erica J. Holloman at the University of Cincinnati. And interesting enough, we did not like one another. So we met, yes, I know. And, even at her service, I told this story because no one would have ever known that about us. But we started off as RAs at the University of Cincinnati, resident advisors. And they put us in the same hall. And it didn't, I was like, I don't like her. She was like, I don't like you either. So we didn't care for each other too much. And then, as time has gone on, we graduated from the University of Cincinnati, and we began our professional work in higher education at the UC, both as assistant hall directors and then as hall directors. And so we sort of grew up in that student affairs together. And as we grew up professionally, we grew up personally.
The mentoring piece was very, very important for her in connecting folks to each other, especially from that senior level mentor leadership, and also to those who are coming in, new to PAN. It was very important to make sure those kind of really connected. And she really wanted to make sure the folks who were, those senior level folks still came back. You came to ACPA, you started off in PAN, don't forget where you came from. Come on and give us back some love. Come on and give us some of your wisdom, and how we can make sure that those who are coming up behind you, while you are climbing up, you are also reaching back. And so that was very also too important for her.
She used to, just, have this hard exterior. But I think after her diagnosis, I started to see more of a softer side. But also she really lived more. I know at her funeral, one of the things that stuck with, I'm sure everyone who was there, I don't remember the speaker, but he said that oftentimes we measure someone's life by when they're born and when they die, but we don't think about the dash, right? And the dash is really their life. Like, what did they do? So, he was saying Erica taught us to live our dash. And I really believe that because, she was diagnosed when she was 31. And, I remember when she called me and told me, and how do you respond to that? My friend is 31, I'm 32. I don't know what to do here, but she lived. She didn't stop fighting, but she lived. I mean, after Erica was going everywhere, doing everything, it was kind of like she just like put her arms around life and just held it really tightly.
In the latter days of Erica, I know that it was very important for her to make sure that she missioned well to her students. And she prided herself in being able to be a student advocate. Now, I think her legacy is about do all that you can do. You know, don't leave any stone unturned. And if you can, you should, and you will.
You can hear when she would talk, just the care and the dedication and her enthusiasm about this work. Someone who just was really passionate. I would say the word I'm looking for is someone who was really passionate.
So one of the ways that I have carried out her work, a couple of things is continues to make sure that I am a member of the Erica J. Holloman Foundation for the awareness of triple negative breast cancer. I serve as the vice president of the board. So doing the work that she started through our bra drive that she started when she had her double mastectomy, and she had to change her bra size, and how she donated her bras, and how we continue to do that and stitch on ribbons that says "Smiling for Erica." So the Erica J. Holloman Foundation for the Awareness of Triple Negative Breast Cancer is truly focused on ensuring that we are spreading the word about triple negative breast cancer. When this started back in 2012, the foundation was incorporated in 2012. Our job is to hopefully, through the awareness and really pushing the importance of mammograms, really pushing the importance of self breast checks, and just helping people understand that triple negative breast cancer is serious. And for women of color and of younger women, many do not survive. And so we really want to push that awareness.
She was fearless. I mean, she moved to another city, you know, she moved to North Carolina, even though she was still, you know, undergoing the triple negative breast cancer. But, you know, I remember her going away party. It was one of the very few times I saw her cry at her going away party. And we had talked about it, and she said, I have to live. I can't not go because of fear. And so she left. And so that reminds me a lot, like it's okay to be afraid, but you can be afraid, but you still have to keep going and take that next step. Erica, after 10 years and beyond,
you'll be forever
in our hearts.
You will forever be in our hearts.